One would hope it's unlisted. It's, yeah, might be an idea. Are you watching?
No.
It says one's watching.
Are you gonna make it public? And then I'll share the link?
Yeah, should I do it now? Okay. Testing. All right. I'm going to put up the splash screen and make it live in a moment. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. If I hear myself on my laptop, which I do, means that the audio is good. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Tiny Nest. Thank you for joining us on this live stream. If you had joined us in the past, we are doing a tiny house design in SketchUp as directed by you, the viewers. So don't be shy in the comments to give suggestions. And basically, the first thing that is shouted out is what we'll do in most cases, if it's reasonable. If it's silly, we'll see. Usually those get through. Um, so don't be afraid. Anything you want to try, like this is just for fun. It's not like we're gonna turn this into a real house, so it doesn't really matter. So maybe I will just let us know that you can hear us in the comments. Get our first comment in there. Don't be shy, because we're gonna be asking you guys the length of trailer that we are gonna use and some sort of fundamental questions about the tiny house design that we're going to be doing. So just want to make sure you guys can hear us and see us okay. Just turn up the light. See it seem better. I'm going to share my screen as well. So we have many options for what we can select for lengths here. So we recently did a whole rebuild of all the Iron Eagle trailer models and packaged them all together in one file. So this will actually be really easy. We'll just pick one of these and delete the others, and then just start designing right on that. Also, I should point out that we do have the bump outs. These are just a couple examples. I won't be able to create like a custom size or shape for this live stream because it'll take too long. But if you guys wanted to mess around with this, we could select one of these two that we've got prefabbed. They're both 24 feet long. So, oh, we got one comment coming in. So, what length of tiny house we want to do? I should also mention that we want to incorporate a bunk bed into this design. I mean, we could save it for the next one if you guys don't want to see that, but it was something that was suggested in a previous stream that we thought was cool, but we had already I think we were already partway through and it wasn't going to work, so we were like, oh, we'll do that next time. So we're definitely interested in doing that because it would be fun. And actually, I should mention that we saw a tiny house with bunk beds when we were in Texas for the Tiny House Jamboree. That was about a month ago. And there were bunk beds. And I was like, oh, it's real. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It was awesome. So yeah, first person to shout out in the comments what length of trailer we want to work on. So there you can see, hopefully, I don't know how clean the resolution is, but anywhere from 30 feet in 2-foot increments down to 10. Want to do 20?
Yeah.
All right.
Tim said 20.
All right, let's do 20. So I'm going to use this other file. So I'll leave this open in case people want to see it later in the stream who join us later. But for now, I'm going to use this file, make sure I'm in the right one, and I'll just quickly delete everything other than the 20 so there's no clutter in the way. And I'm just going to move it over to the center of the, I'll delete this too. Move this over to the center of the model. I just hit some shortcut. Did you see that? Oh, I have keyboard shortcuts and I mashed something and I saw something open up on my other screen. All right, so we got our 20 foot here. And for the floor, do we want to, is this going to be for a cold climate? These are the same questions we always ask, right? So if it's for a colder climate, we can make the floor thicker. and also the walls thicker, which will just have a slight impact on how much space we have to work with inside. So let us know in the comments, do you want to do thicker walls, thicker insulation, or like just standard 2x4 for the walls, 2x6 for the floor? In the meantime, I will start by starting to fill this in. And I can also do, well, this will represent the framing, so I'll put just a really simple texture on that. Oops. I'm going to go large thumbnails. This one. And so I'm going to draw what will represent the plywood subfloor on here.
We're gonna do 2x4 walls.
2x4 walls, gotcha. So this is going to represent a 3/4 inch plywood subfloor. And we can go like this, get some plywood. And I'm going to go quickly just chop out the fenders. Just like that. So I'm just duplicating that outline. Gonna drop it down on there, cut that out. So it represents our plywood there, like that. Whoops, that's the under layer. There we go. And so we can just slap down the walls right on top of this. So yeah, for simplicity, we're just going to build the walls on top of the plywood, but there can be better ways to put the plywood in, run the plywood in between and have the walls actually just sitting straight down. But to represent 2x4 walls, we're going to kind of have to account for the interior sheathing, like the interior wall paneling. So we're going to do at least 4 inches here, even though it's 3.5 inch framing. We want to account for a 1/2 inch for, say, like drywall or whatever. I mean, drywall is not the best thing sometimes for tiny house construction, but you get the idea. So So again, I'm gonna just chop out the fenders. Actually, I'll make it a little bit fancy here. Slightly fancy. Should I get fancy?
Get fancy. Just get fancy. Don't get dancy.
No, you're supposed to get dancy.
Okay.
But instead I'm getting fancy and not
Fancy, just
dancy.
get dancy. That's the
I think so.
Hey Ben.
I think we need to, if anyone in the comments can clarify that, that the priority is dancy, not fancy. I tend to get too fancy, and then no time to dance. Okay, so I just cut that out. So that looks like this around the fender. That's great. That's just great. Okay, so I'm going to put this, duplicate that wall, and make another wall over here.
Benjamin.
Is Benjamin in beast mode?
Yes.
All right. Is he on the stream? Can you see him?
70% Dancy, 25% fancy, 5% GST.
I'm like leading the wrong way.
Please
That's good.
Ben.
Benjamin, he's our beast. This is a tiny house dog. Just super small. Doesn't take up hardly any of the room that we allocated for ourselves.
I know, buddy. Okay. He's just like on a mission to destroy my laptop. Okay, let me just move this.
Okay, so we talked about having a bunk bed in here, which would be sweet. I'm just gonna ignore the fenders for now. Um, so one good question when we're making a design is like, it's good to have a purpose in mind. Like, what is the point of this tiny house? Who's living in it? Why are they going to live in it? And what is either their hobby or work or whatever that they need to accomplish in here? If we can combine that with the need for a bunk bed, so that could be like maybe it's for a family. We try to like maximize space and have sleeping room for kids, or it could be it's like a recreational sort of like cabin style where you'd have not full-time living, but you'd have guests or like a group of people that would go, so you need extra sleeping room. So again, if you guys want to do the bunk bed suggestion, we could go down those lines. If not, that's totally fine. If you have another idea in mind of like what direction we want to take this in, now's the time. Just make this basic sort of box, get this started, and then we want to know what we want to fit in here because that can have broad, like reaching implications of like where the door is going to go, and that kind of thing. So give that some thought, and I will attempt to box in the fenders here. I should have just left it alone with the fenders. Leave well enough alone.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What was that?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I don't. I tend to.
You don't go by that saying.
No. Can you guys hear Kiva, or does it sound like I'm having a conversation with myself? Because the only microphone that's active right now is. We should get you a mic. I should like set up.
Then you just like hear me whispering to Benjamin the whole time.
This is true. This is true. Okay, so I'm gonna box in the fenders.
Okay,
Uh,
so
this.
so Tim says that he would be interested in seeing one for a family of 3. So the bunk beds could work for that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Sounds good. I'm going to put in a floor here, just to get the kind of lowest layer touched up. So I'm just going to pull this to about a 1/2 inch. Come on. Get in there. Group that. Is that the floor? Yes. Okay, so actually, I'm just going to take one sec here to open up. We had some good textures that we could have used. That's not my stomach. Don't can I hope that is not audible on the stream. This may take a second to load. For the Jamboree, we did basically a session very similar to this, where we had a live audience directing us, and I created this little file just in case I didn't have access to the 3D warehouse. But what I was looking for is we got some cool wood textures here. So again, I'm just I'm just trying to touch up the bottom of this so we can start putting stuff on it. We can change this later if we need to as well, and we can lighten it or darken it. So just quickly though, 1, 2, or 3 in the comments. What floor texture do you like most?
Three.
3 it is. 3 is ding ding ding. We have a winner, and it is number 3. Okay. Excellent. So now 20 feet might be a bit tight for a family of 3, but we will try it. So let's just go straight. We're going to go ahead with the bunk beds, I think. So let's see what we can find on the good old SketchUp 3D warehouse.
With the stairs in the center.
This one?
No, down two.
Oh, this? What?
Third row, second from the left.
Oh, this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is that 4 beds?
Yeah. Or maybe no.
Oh, that's a desk.
And a desk and 2 bunk beds. That's like a loft.
How
That's cool.
wide is this? Now I want to see this. Oh, it's huge.
That's neat though.
Yeah, that has some potential.
That's a mad potential.
Some mad potential. You know what we could do? I'm feeling very liberal with my my power to control this model right now, but you could almost you could almost like separate it and have 2 separate like spaces. Oh, what?
Right at the wrong. What? It has a door.
There's like interior storage space too. I feel like this obviously is not suitable for a tiny house as it is, but the concepts involved,
Yeah.
I feel like I want to explore, but not right now. So let's go back to our search. What do you think? I'm thinking obviously one that's like kind of nestled, probably with a ladder because there's not enough. Nestled, tiny nestled. What on earth is this? I'm easily getting distracted here. No, that's ridiculous. How about just this basic one
Yeah.
to start with? Let's just do that. Oh, it looks... Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna remove this human. Yeah. Let's see. That is quite large. However, what I'm realizing here is that maybe it can fit this way against the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was imagining.
Yeah.
So then would you have a loft as well?
Over
Or like
top
a
of that.
parent bed?
Over top of the top one? Well, like,
Well, I'm just
is that what you
like
mean?
to sleep enough people if it's for a family.
Oh, what the heck happened there? Ooh. Okay, we'll just pretend that that's not there. Okay, how tall is this though? Because we need to keep in mind that we have a height restriction. So I'm going to create an object here that's going to represent the height limit. So we'll go 13.5 feet. So that's as high as we can go. Actually, you know what? I think you almost could fit. Well, for one, you know, this is too high off the ground, that first bed.
Yeah.
You might want storage.
Yeah.
Let's just see how much height we can get above that. That
Like
seems
child.
really tall. A third child? Just okay. Okay. How much headroom do you think you need? Well, how much room is here? Obviously, whoever made this model thinks that 2 feet is enough. So if we were to go up 2 feet from there, bring this up higher, and then go like this. How much, how far from the floor is this though? 6'9". So if we brought this down 5 inches, and then these came down 5 inches as well, then, because I always default to our headroom, which is 6'4", and this is 6'4", right there. And you could easily fit those two. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. You can quite easily fit a bunk bed in and then not even worry about putting a loft.
Like put a loft as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Like over top of the bunks.
yeah. So how, let me just double check this height. Yeah, this is not even 2 feet. I guess climbing in might be a little bit tight, but we could always lower this further because right now this is like storage, which may or may not be necessary. You probably wouldn't want to have it like on the ground,
No.
but yeah, cool. Okay, so I think, you know, I should warn our viewers that like this could easily become really suboptimal. Um, but it's always interesting to start with something that you want that's important and then try to build around it and see what happens. Like we might get partway through and just go, oh man, like we can't fit everything properly anymore, and you would, you know, you would scrap the idea if you were actually trying to make it happen. But that's why it's fun to just experiment like this, and just see what's possible because you don't want to waste, you know, prototyping like this quickly is cool because you don't want to waste your real time when you're making a real tiny house exploring like some crazy idea that is pretty obviously not going to work. I think I want to bring, let's make a big loft. Oops, I'm getting stuck outside the model here. We'll go to here. No, I want to go an extra 4 inches from there. Go to here, like this, like that. We'll make it 6 inches to represent 2 by 6 plus a floor on it, like so. I'm assuming we're going to want to put the door out here. So in the comments, what do you guys think about where the kitchen should go? Like I'm kind of seeing this as being, do you think we could get, like, if this is going to be a bedroom, we might want to separate it with a door, right? I'm going to bring this out of the way just so we can see it a bit better. We could put like a wall here, right? And maybe fit a bathroom.
What if you did like a split bathroom?
Oh, we could do. Well, that's exactly what we have. And it's over the fenders.
Yeah.
So you could walk between a shower stall and a toilet plus sink. I could just copy it from the Tiny Nest model and try to slap, because it's a 20-foot model. It'll actually land. I could probably copy it and just paste it, and it would just
Yeah, I can
appear
see
there.
that.
Although copying all those pieces might not be the easiest thing. I could just copy the what do you guys think about that in the comments? Obviously, I'm flying off the handle here, but we want to get your guys' feedback. Where do you see this going? We could do a split bathroom, so you pass in between two separate rooms to access the bedroom, or we could bump some kind of space out, like that would look something like this, see what we could fit into a space like that, and you pass through a narrow area. Obviously, there'd be a bit more room here. And then, you walk in here, maybe there's shelving against that back wall. And that's how you enter that little space. And then, like, if that's the bathroom, then we could put the kitchen here. I'm a huge fan of the L-shape kitchen. Basically, putting things against the walls and making kind of a path that you walk through when you enter the house, basically.
No one's chiming in, so we could just do the split.
Well, what do you want to do, Kiva?
Let's do the split.
You want to do the split?
Yeah.
Okay. How should we do this? Should I try to copy it from the tinyness model?
I don't know.
I'll try it. Let's see what happens. The nest itself. Where is it? This one. All right. At the very least, I'll copy. The thing is, in the tinyness model, the shower is not even there because it's still not. That part's still not done. What? Nothing? Just gonna get in here. Oh my. Perspective is way. Okay. So, grab this and the composting. It's so intricate. This model is like there's too much detail. Look, it lands perfectly.
That's awesome.
It's kind of facing the wrong way though. I'm just gonna replace. I like this texture. So actually, what I'll do is just take this out like that, and then delete this. Yeah, and then just for sake of visuals, go like this. Take out the bucket. Move it over. Uh-oh. That. Okay, and we'll bring in a shower. Oh, so we normally get the corner shower, so maybe I will have to go to the 3D warehouse and do like this style, or you see anything that pops out? I'm almost like this and then shrink it,
Sure.
Try it. Yeah, sure. It'll look all weird, but we'll do it anyway. So if you're at the front of the tongue of the trailer, whoa, what the heck is that other piece right there? That is enormous. I'll just resize it though. So, I lost my train of thought. If you're at the tongue and you're walking towards the bunks, do we want the toilet on the left here? Just leave it where it is?
Yeah.
Or a shower on that side? Yeah, this is like totally not to scale. How deep is our shower? It's like oh,
You just measure it.
I can just measure it in here. It's gonna be this plus an inch and a half, which is 2'6". Call it 2'8". About 2'8" deep. Yeah, 8. So we're gonna scale this down, and obviously it's way too wide, so we'll just squish it like that. move it over to here, rotate. Now, obviously, this is something that we're going to be dealing with. We have many ideas, so it's fine, but the fender will kind of like interfere with the shower, so it would have to be a custom built thing. How much space? Obviously, we're going to want to increase like the space we have to put the kitchen in. So do we want to kind of tuck this in tight to the, like as tight as we can to the bunks? Um, Viewers, what do you guys think about this kind of bunk sleeping space? Should we minimize its footprint so that it's just meant for sleeping, or should we leave like some amount of room out in front of the beds for, like I guess we could fit kind of like a small desk or something, you know, if it's supposed to be like a kid's room. Because I don't think we're gonna be able to fit much of that otherwise. There won't really be much of a living room
Yeah, I was thinking that.
in here, so we could try to put it into the bunk area. So what do you guys think on the stream? Like this space, do we allocate more space here, which reduces space left to make the kitchen and whatnot?
Tim says he likes the idea of the shelves between the shower and the bed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's tuck it in fairly tight then. Don't really need more than about 2 feet,
Extra shelves.
especially for kids. See, that lines up pretty much with the fenders, actually. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna move this basically in line with the fenders here, like that. We're gonna move this over as well. And I'll build a little wall here. And we'll want this to be, well, we'll just match the box here, so like this. Oof, I really need to change my perspective so I can get in here tighter. So what's nice about this is I'm going to just leave the space between the sink and the toilet box because we know that that's good. So I'm going to duplicate this like that. And obviously there needs to be a... you know what? I'm just going to go like this. And pull this out. See, now I'm like looking at the what we have. Ah, get about there. There we go. That's pretty. Yeah, that's about right. So I'm just gonna enclose the bathroom here. Pretty sure it comes basically to the toilet box like that. Okay, and Okay, that is pretty sweet actually. I'm liking where this is going. What do you guys think in the comments? You guys are so quiet, or are they chatting? I'm not chatting. I'm not really paying attention to like
Yeah, people are into it.
the stream. Okay,
Looks like it.
awesome, great. Okay, um, so we have this much space left. Do we want to try to put in some kind of living space, or do we want to just make it like a kitchen? I definitely see the potential for maybe a fridge here,
Mhm.
and then kitchen, like a corner kitchen, and then the door here,
Mhm.
and then maybe like a coat closet or something there. Also, how do we get into the loft? Always forget that.
Yeah. Christopher Brummett suggested pull curtains for doors to the bathroom slash bunk beds.
Yeah, yeah. Like across here.
Mhm.
Yeah, you could even drape a thing. Well, you know what we did in a previous stream that was super cool.
The like room divider thing.
Yeah, did I keep that in here? Yeah, yeah, here it is.
That was more like to separate a space. Oh no, it was for bathroom.
Yeah, but just here, let me put this. This may not be exactly what was being suggested, but I'm just having a thought. Like you
Yeah.
could have it kind of like this.
Mhm.
So it's like an accordion thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you could pull it across, like stretch it out. I don't know if I can do this the way that it is. Oh my God. Kind of like, oh yeah, this will sort of work. Sort of like that. And then obviously it would be rotated slightly more than that. Like that. And then, yeah, there you get the idea. So that,
Mhm.
that and, or, other ways to block just the toilet room.
Mhm.
You have another one or a sliding thing for that as well. But let's just say, like, yeah, I mean, you probably want to kind of separate that bathroom space from the kitchen. So let's just plow ahead. Like I always say, this is all about just experimenting. So see what can fit. Where are we going to run into trouble? Let's grab this couch, or this, not couch, but fridge. Should probably save this, eh?
Yeah. Because
Oh,
people
I
will
should
be able
also.
to download this,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, I should also mention that once this stream becomes a video on our channel, you'll be able to download this file in whatever state it ends up. It'll be very incomplete. um, it'll be as complete as it is by the time we finish, and you'll be able to download it from the uh, description, from a link in the description.
And you should also say there's a sale
Yes, and
right
if
now. The
if
SketchUp.
you are if you're interested in learning SketchUp, we have a tutorial that we sell on our website, and I believe actually I was trying to be all fancy and set it up. Here, let me switch the thing so I can point at it. I'll feel all good about this. I think it's eh.
Oh,
There's
you
a
made a card?
I've made a card, so it's over there. It sends you to our website, and then in the description of the stream, there is
There's no card coming up.
there should be a card. Is there not? If you hover over it, yeah. If you yeah, it's
Oh,
there.
okay,
It's
yeah, I
there.
see it, I see it.
Such a naysayer. Um, there's a discount code. Sorry, I'll get back at it here. But there's a discount code in the description. If you enter hibernate as a discount code, it's $20 total instead of $30 for our tutorial. So you can learn SketchUp, this program, and it's free. Just download SketchUp Make 2017. If you have any more questions, you can just email us. But yeah, we're all about SketchUp and designing and all the rest of it. If you've watched any of our YouTube videos, you'll have that idea already.
Okay, so there's a suggestion from Chris. He
Okay.
says, what would happen if you put shower head across from each other on same side? Sinks small one in the middle against the wall, then put kitchen counter across from it over the wheel well.
Okay, so for you to read that again, are we talking about combining the bathrooms now?
Um, I think so. If you put the shower head across from each other on the same side. Well, we really shouldn't probably screw around with it too much because we only got like another 15 minutes.
Yeah, if I didn't mention, we usually try to make these about an hour long. So we usually, once we're sort of partway committed, we kind of stick with it and don't make any major rearrangements. It might be a good idea to for a future stream to actually take some of our previous streams and
Oh, that's a good
say
idea.
like, what's wrong with
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Let's rework it.
But I think
It's a
what
good idea.
Chris is suggesting is like to sort of have like instead of the split bathroom, have the bathroom on one side and the kitchen on the other. Let me know if that's what you mean by that. Because I haven't seen that really. Well, actually, yeah, you usually see the kitchen and the bathroom down at one end.
Actually, I have seen that at the Jamboree. I think it was that same place that I keep talking about that you didn't go into, where there was like a living room on the end. I saw this really cool tiny house in Texas, and you go in, and when you turn left, you walk down the middle, and on your right is like a long kitchen, and then on your left is like a fully enclosed
Long bathroom.
long
Oh,
bathroom.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, um, that is possible here. I like the idea
Which
of
one?
revisiting.
Okay.
I'm not so sure I want to redo it now, just because we should wrap it up before we'd have a chance to really flesh that out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Maybe we could do that for next one.
yeah, I
Like
think
get on like a longer trailer might be kind of neat.
yeah we could
Like
just
ride
copy
the
these
float.
contents,
Yeah.
slap it onto a longer trailer, and then see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's another plug: is that we're gonna do another stream
A week today.
a week from today if we want to come back and sort of revisit this. So let me just see if I can steal um, a corner. Yeah, here we go. Here's a corner kitchen. Or wait, do we want that one? This one is from our. Well, we don't want that fridge, that's for sure. This one's from our little super shorty. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Not super stoked on the sink position here. If I can mirror this. Oh, it's like the right width there. That's interesting. Hmm. I'm just gonna pull this all the way out just to see. Like this is a lot of. That is a huge kitchen. That's almost too much.
That's a massive kitchen.
What are we missing? Are we
We're missing
missing
a
any?
lounge area.
We are missing a lounge area. What if this is a family that just really enjoys the outdoors all seasons?
Maybe they live in some place where it's always nice,
Yeah,
and they just have like a huge deck where they eat and
it's
they
perfectly.
have a projector and they watch movies outside in the forest. They
Can we
sound
be
cool.
friends with that family?
Yeah, they sound cool.
They sound cool. Oh, that was really. Uh, I just laughed really dorkily. This kitchen it's too big. What else can we put in here? Suggestions? Obviously, we're coming to realize that I think this design would be excellent, slightly longer, which
Yeah.
which I want to do next time. Um, and what we found during this experiment is that we have more space than we need for a kitchen, but we have too little to put in anything else like really significant. Um, just throw a couple things in here. So like we could put some kind of shelving something like this. Ooh, what happened there? Pull that away, put it back on. This is way too wide. Ah! Get in line with that. Say that that is close, like coats go up top. Oh, did I not make this? Whoops. Why? Don't hate me. Here we go. So hang some coats up top, shoes in the bottom, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's just there's way too much space here because the door would go. I mean, we almost have space for a double door. It's crazy. It's too much for a 20 footer. Yeah, I don't think this is very good use of space. Could almost put a couch or seating against this wall.
Yeah,
Have that like
that.
projector style hangs down from the loft, and then maybe put the fridge here and then elongate so it's just a long. How much time do we have? Let me just. I really don't like the this. It looks terrible. It's not quite. Didn't quite work the way that you'd hope it would. Like move this. Or what am I doing here? No, I want to make this all turn all the way around. Like this, like that. Let's make the loft come all the way. Then how do you get into the loft? It's always the ultimate question.
Fold out trampoline.
We've already done the trampoline joke and the
Not
fire
fold
pole.
out.
Didn't someone tell us that there is a tiny house with a fire pole in
Yeah,
it?
dude, it was the house at the jamboree.
Did it? No. Really? Did it have it in?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. This is really suboptimal positioning of this. I don't know where to put that, like left to right wise. It's almost gonna work. This is almost gonna work. Is this gonna work? This is not gonna work. Let's push this in all the way. Delete this. Close enough. Whoops. Pull that to there. Delete that. Okay. Okay, we want some kind of seating. I always just go for the futon. The futon. Oh, wait a minute.
The futon.
Le futon. Do we have enough room for a corner couch? Facing the... Do you see where I'm going with this? If we tuck the door right there,
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know if it's going to fit, but let's try it. What am I doing here? This needs to be mirrored. Go this way, 90, and then mirror, no, this way. Like this. It's working, it's working. I don't know how. It's a little bit awkward in the kitchen. Maybe the sink just needs to be further away, and then this area could be like tall shelving, and it wouldn't be quite as like intrusive having the couch like
Yeah.
inside there.
Well, also, how much space is there to like smooth in the kitchen if someone's sitting on the couch?
Yeah, no, I don't think you would. Why is this?
But perfect for getting a snack while you're watching a movie.
This needs to be bigger. Like, yeah, maybe you'd have your utilities. If you had like a utility box on the tongue, you could interconnect it with some stuff tucked under this so you wouldn't need access to it. Maybe you could. Ooh, is this gonna work? Yeah, I'll move this down like this. Whoops. It's like it's almost good.
Yeah.
It's almost something. It's a bit tight when you walk in. There's nowhere to put your shoes.
Mhm.
Unless you had a slightly shorter fridge. Well, actually, no, there is. Like, you could have a little
Cubby under the
cubby
fridge.
right there, yeah, under the fridge. That's not possible. Push this in here. Almost like we've made something.
So someone's asking if you can put the kitchen in the back or on the end so you can do French doors.
And how? What's the change that would allow that? Like on the front or the back of the? I mean, we could put French doors. That's like two doors,
Yeah.
right? Those are sweet, but they definitely take up a lot of wall space.
Mhm.
So,
Instead of the kitchen on the tongue, it would be on the tail.
mhm. I mean, we'd have to switch it all the way around,
Yeah.
which we can do next time because we're talking about maybe revisiting this design. Because I do like where this is going,
Yeah.
but we're a little bit tight. Like, I don't think that this front space is very optimized. Um, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, French doors. I'm not super keen on things that take up a huge amount of space. If it's just an aesthetic thing,
If it was on a longer trailer, we could.
yeah. If it's really important, if that's the feature that you want,
Yeah.
then yes, you put that in and you make potential sacrifices to make it fit, which is what we did with the bunk bed here. Um, just put that in and worked around it. But I would definitely say that it is something that requires some sacrifice because you have such a huge wall space taken up by those doors that you can't really put anything in front of it. And of course, with this design, we couldn't do that. We could. So yeah. So for example, like if I doubled this, let me double this just as a quick visual, like how big the two doors would be. You couldn't really have anything. You couldn't have this part of the couch or whatever. Say this was not a couch, what anything that was here against the wall couldn't be there. And then in addition to that, you'd need space in front, so you'd lose this whole section here, the ability to put anything there. So not only does it affect what can go against the wall, but it can also affect what's in front of it. So that it's I'm not trying to like totally
Well, he's
kill
saying
your dreams or
like
anything,
a
but
single.
just pointing out like what is involved in making that happen.
He's saying you can do a single door with a stationary panel next to it, or single stationary pane next to it.
Right, yeah. And put stuff in front of it. And then so then it's just a matter of how clear do you leave that pane open if it's meant to be a window to let light in and stuff. Um, anyway, it's a whole, it's a good topic actually. Windows and doors, how much space you allocate for that. I mean, obviously we'd want to I should put some kind of windows in here because I've been completely ignoring that so far. Obviously you'd want one there. So yeah, I mean, I think this is about as far as we're going to get with this right now. I don't see any way to get into the loft. Maybe a ladder right beside the door, which is not particularly optimal. A lot of people have used ladders in the past. We have a ladder ourselves, which is totally fine, but pretty quickly uh, the use of stairs in tiny houses became really popular, um, which really I do find that it limits your options because again it's actually the same type of thing as putting in like a double door because you have to allocate a huge amount of wall space. If I can bring up, well, you can see if you check out some of our previous live streams, at least one, if not a couple of them, had stairs, I believe.
Yeah.
Our Jamboree ones did. We should open up those ones that we made at the Jamboree, maybe on the next stream, and just show what we ended up with there. Oh, Benjamin's pulling your.
I
Look
know.
at this.
I
He's
know.
like pulling your power cord out. So huge design, things like having a dog. You need to allocate the dog size in here as well, and realize that it's going to take up more than half of your couch. So that's also a factor that should be accounted for that we did not. So lessons learned, tiny house design, large dogs.
Yes.
But yeah, so I mean, this is feasible. This design it could work. Um, I'm not convinced it's particularly optimal, but that's the whole fun of it is just pushing the boundaries, seeing what's possible.
Definitely.
I think we're going to wrap it up. Um, just a reminder, a quick plug that we have, there's a tutorial that we sell on how to use this software. SketchUp is free. The tutorial is only $20 after you put the Hibernate discount code in, which is in the description. And there's a card. Hang on. Oh, it's there. There's a card here you can click that goes to our website. Also, this file that we've created here will be available for download for free, obviously, just through a link in the description of this video once it becomes posted to our YouTube channel. So you'll have to come back hopefully tomorrow. It might be at some point during the day tomorrow, so maybe check tomorrow night or the next day for the video, and we'll link this file in the description if you wanted to play around with it yourself. And I think a week from today we're going to do another stream. We may open up this again and just carry on with it, or sort of like redo it on a longer trailer, have some more wiggle room to play with, because I think that might be fun. I like things about this design, for sure. Have I forgotten anything?
No. We have a new
Oh,
website. Oh, the Iron Eagle Trailer
yeah, the
Box.
Iron Eagle. So this is also a free download on our website. also accessible through that card that I was pointing at. All these trailer models, which are based on Iron Eagle, which is the company that we bought our trailer from. Um, that was in 2014 or something. We just bought it because some people had recommended it, like word of mouth. Uh, it was great. We basically developed a relationship with them, gave them feedback on how the build was and stuff, and ended up, because of our expertise in SketchUp, we modeled all their trailers for them. So if anyone is thinking about uh, using one of their trailers, you can just download these models that we've already pre-made, and then you just design your house straight on it, instead of having to model the trailer yourself, which I did when I first got into SketchUp and first designed our tiny house, and it was not the easiest thing because I was a beginner at the time. So this is like a head start. We try to provide resources for people to get a head start on things that we did not have. So yeah, this is free, and um,
That's it.
I think that's it. I can't. I feel like there's something else I was
Yeah,
gonna
you
say,
gotta
but
ask me.
this is a new this is a new revision. We just updated all this, so it's like current and everything. So it's cool. Um,
Thanks for
and
tuning in.
yes, thanks for tuning in. I'm getting the Kiva's trying to like indicate to me that we should wrap it up. Wrap it up. I talk a lot. I don't know if you've noticed. Um, great. So awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hopefully we'll see you again in a week. And it's been fun. We'll see you next time. See ya.